All right, what's going on YouTube? Counter Punch Boxing. How are we doing this evening? Okay, look, quick shout outs real quick. Let me get it out of the way. I always like forget to do that, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So first of all, Double G, Gabriel Garcia, my friend, thank you very much. I'm not gonna. You know what you did. Thank you. Meant a lot to me. I greatly appreciate everything. Edward Ruiz, right? I got it right this time. I think I said Edwin the first time. I apologize, Mr. Edward. And Susan Hunt. Hello, how are you? Joey Castro, what's up, my friend Joey? I tell Joey all the time, oh, I'll give you a shout, and I forget. I have a terrible memory. Right now, my allergies are killing me. So, if I sound like I'm underwater, sorry, I can't help it. I was like literally underwater during the hurricane, but now I feel like I'm underwater in my head. And also, a couple of boxing channels out there. Slim Shady apparently has been giving me shout outs. So, back at you. Right back at you, Mr. Slim Shady. Check his channel out. And KOZ producer, I think probably the best Gennady Golovkin channel on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked him out, check out KOZ producer. It's a lot of graphics and promos and things like that, but, does great work with us. So anyway, let's get into it now. What have I done here? Okay, I've gone around and I've taken the best of the best and I put it in one pot for you, right? That's what I do. Okay, I dig around. I mean, look, you guys don't understand. Like, I will dig around in like Kazakhstan news. I'll go to like the Spanish channel, the Mexican channels, and get things translated to English. And I mean, I do a lot to bring you guys the best, right? And I funnel it all down. So what I have today, Abel Sanchez did an interview a couple days ago, and I'm going to just kind of go over two things that he talked about that I found incredibly interesting, and I think you will too. And also, I want to talk about the WBC commemorative belt, and then Canelo recently did an interview, and I think some very revealing things in that interview that I want to share. But first, look at this artwork. I think that is probably the best Canelo Golovkin artwork I've seen by far. But yeah, here's the full picture of it right here. And you can go to my Facebook group, Counterpunch Boxing, and check it out if you want to, take a screenshot or whatever. And, I wasn't going to mention it, but also we started a GoFundMe account for the hurricane relief. And if you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link in the box below. So it's been devastating down here. But look, let's get into it. Here, I'll show you the belt real quick. And I have like HD pictures I want to show you. But, okay, Abel Sanchez. Now, one thing he revealed that I liked is the actual sparring partners, because they're like, look, how are you going to prepare for Canelo, the body shots, right? And here's the thing, I've been just like pounding this in everyone's head lately about Gennady Golovkin and his body. Well, anyone that interviews Abel or Golovkin, they talk about the body. So he said, look, I brought in guys that are faster, they're quicker. They have more power than Canelo, and they're digging through the body. And Golovkin, he's handling it well. So I liked hearing that. He's bringing in true middleweights. Okay, guys like J Rock, Julian Williams. Okay, Flyboy Johnson, Kenneth McNeil. Tyrone Davis. I mean, look, any of these guys. It was either Tyrone Davis or Kenneth McNeil, I believe, that sparred with McGregor leading up to the Mayweather fight. But, these guys are, basically digging at Golovkin's body. And according to Abel Sanchez, he's holding up like a tank. So we'll see. It could be, he could just be kind of just talking, talking trash, but we will see. Let me get you guys a little something to look at here. Here, how about the announcement? I like that, yeah. This is the actual announcement after the Chavez fight. So we'll leave it at that. We'll let that roll while I'm talking. But yeah, and look, I watched the video today. I mean, you had, what's his name, Evander Holyfield talking about the body shots. He's talking about the body. He's like, that's one thing that I believe Golovkin needs to be careful for. Oscar De La Hoya was on ESPN Deportes 2 days ago, talking about how they feel Gennady Golovkin is going to be vulnerable to the body, and then, so it's just like it's everywhere. I mean, you got everywhere. Even Victor Ortiz. I mean, Victor Ortiz was talking about it. So, that's, look, I mean, these things happen for a reason. They're said for a reason. And, but, according to them, they've got a plan. Now, also in that interview, they talked about, they said, look, Gennady Golovkin, he's 35 years old. He seems like he's kind of declined a little bit in the Jacobs fight and the Brook fight, which, I mean, I just completely disagree. And even Abel Sanchez, he's like, I find that really funny because, here, let me move. That's bugging me. He said, I find that really funny because, look, Mayweather gets hit by a Shane Mosley, and he's not getting old, right? Or Mayweather gets dropped by Zab Judah, and he's not getting old. Andre Ward got dropped, flat out dropped by Kovalev, and no one said he was getting old. But Gennady Golovkin is held to such a standard that it's just unfair, and that was the exact word that he used. He said it was unfair. Now, I don't really agree with that. Because I think, look, I mean, it's kind of, to me, it's not a good, I mean, I get where he's going, but you can't compare, Mayweather and Zab Judah and Mayweather and Mosley, you know what I mean, to Golovkin Jacobs. It's just two different things, but I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that people out there, claim that Golovkin, he's a fraud, he's declining, he's getting old, he's a bum, he's a hype job, he's going to get exposed and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, he's beating guys like Daniel Jacobs, and he's undefeated. He's about to be, the background. Okay, so it's a double standard, right? I mean, if he's such a bum, then you should be. I mean, really, you should be congratulating him for beating the number 2 middleweight in the world. Okay, so it's a double standard. They're contradicting themselves. All of that business. So, but I get what he's trying to say. I really do. Now, another interesting thing, Canelo, okay? Now, during that interview, they asked Canelo, they said, do you think that Golovkin will be your toughest fight? And he said no. He said no. He said that to him, a technical fighter would be more challenging than a guy that is, he basically, called Gennady Golovkin a one-dimensional boxer with power. He's like, he's like, styles make fights. And this is like verbatim what Canelo said. He said styles make fights. And, I would rather fight a Gennady Golovkin right now than a Floyd Mayweather. I mean, that's what he said. Because they asked him about, would you rather rematch Mayweather or have Golovkin? And he said, no, I'd rather have Golovkin because, that's what he feels. He feels like, he can break through that armor. He can break the code. He's got the blueprint to beat Gennady Golovkin, whatever you want to call it, and that's how he feels. So we'll see. I mean, that's a lot of confidence there. I think he needs to remain humble, and he's getting a little bit arrogant. I mean, look, it's good to have confidence, but don't, as long as it doesn't cross over to arrogance, right? And I think that's kind of what's happening. But yeah, and then he just went on to say that, well, one more thing. This is, I thought was really interesting. Think about this, okay? What is the next fight for Canelo? Okay, you got to look at that. Like right now, I mean, who else is out there, right? Maybe a David Lemieux, Charlo, right? I mean, because, look, these guys, and even Canelo said it today in the interview, he was like, we want every fight to be the biggest and the best, and we want to keep excelling and moving forward, right? So I thought about that, and I'm like, well, the next biggest thing would be a Canelo-Golovkin rematch. Right? Obviously, think about this, because they're like, what is next for Canelo, and what is next for Gennady Golovkin? What, a mandatory? No. So I really think, the way it's going to go down, I think Golovkin will beat Canelo, and then I think we're going to get a rematch. And I think, because look, Canelo has the rematch clause, Golovkin doesn't, which I think that is like the worst blunder in boxing history. I mean, why didn't Tom Lawford, K2, why didn't they negotiate, a rematch clause for Gennady Golovkin? I don't get that. I really don't. So, But that's how I think it's going to go down, because the next biggest fight for Canelo would be a rematch. I mean, he's already done the Mayweather, he's already done the Cotto, the Chavez, right? So who else could there be? Maybe sure, there could be like a keep busy fight, maybe a Charlo, whatever, and then in the future, the rematch. Look, let me show you the belt real quick, and I will end it there. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to bring you guys a couple of quick updates. But this is just a beautiful belt. I mean, and look, I hear a lot of guys out there complaining about the belt. Oh, one more thing. One more thing. Slim Shady pointed this out during the weigh-in. You got a guy handing Canelo, what could be perceived as a PED. Yes, PED. Um, and then puts it in his mouth, and then chugs it down with a little bit of green juice there. Now, what I think it probably is, it could be a vitamin, it could be Tylenol, Advil, who knows, right? Probably some type of vitamin rehydration type thing, whatnot, something like that. Now, that was on the Canelo Smith fight, as you see right there, and remember, there was no VADA testing during that fight. Now they are testing for this current fight right here. So, and from what I understand, both guys have been tested multiple times. So, and Canelo, and this is my next video, I'm going to show you some current pictures of Canelo, but I'll give you a little sneak peek right now. I mean, looking like freaking Spartacus over here, like that 300, like he's about to kick the dude down in the hole, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I do not know what is going on here. Where did I have that belt? Hang on, let me get to it. I can't show you guys all my pictures because then you'll know my upcoming videos. But yeah, I mean, beautiful belt. And I almost want to make a whole video just showing you the detail. And I like how on the left is like, you kind of have the Mexican colors, and then on the right, you've got the Kazakhstan colors, right? For Gennady Golovkin. But now, of course, if Canelo wins, he's already said, he won't accept it. I mean, just look at this detail. I mean, I would love to have a replica of that, really. Like, that would be the coolest thing in the world. I mean, I think, because I don't know, I like belts. I really do. I've always liked them. And I know you can order replicas for like $700 online. Like, I'm serious. Like, down the road, I might order a replica. I mean, to me, this is like the most beautiful belt I've ever. It's just incredible piece of artwork, and it's a shame that Canelo would snub it, and not accept it if he wins. Now, one thing, and let me end it here. People are complaining. They're like, we have too many belts. Why would they create another belt? I mean, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is not like a championship belt. It's a commemorative belt. It's basically a trophy, right? It's a souvenir. It's a token. It's not, he's not going to compete for the Mexico WBC September 16th belt, right? I mean, it doesn't hold any kind of weight, on that level. So a lot of people were freaking out in the comment section because the WBC posted this on their Twitter page, and I was reading all the comments, and people are like freaking out, like it's like a real belt, So just wanted to clear that up for the people out there that didn't quite get that. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. But yeah, quick recap. You got Abel Sanchez, basically reassuring everyone that, the body and the conditioning of Golovkin is on point. They got good sparring partners in there. They got a good plan, and apparently Canelo is not worried whatsoever. He believes he's the bigger puncher, and this is just an easy payday. I mean, basically that's what he said. So I'm gonna leave it at that. What do you think? Leave your comment below.